I wanted to see if you would give people a little practical advice about the things they can do to protect themselves, because we are being bombarded.
Yeah, and that's the book. That's what the book is about. It's got hundreds of different tips and strategies that we can implement to mitigate the effects, and the phone is obviously a big one. The first thing that we need to do, and those are basically 4 steps, and you should implement them, one by one, because that would be the best effect. But the first thing we got to do is mitigate those effects inside our own home, right? So the first thing we can do is we can buy an EMF meter. On my website, you have a resource page with all the resources for free when it comes to EMF, which meter to buy or what to do. So go to biohackingunlimited.com, go to the resources page, and there's many free resources when it comes to how to do this. But with a meter, you can meet where your magnetic hotspots are. And so when you have hotspots in your house, you don't want to put your bed there, or you don't want to put your pets there, or you want to avoid those spaces. That's number one. Number 2, everything that's wireless, we got to start plugging back in. There's no reason to have your computer wireless if you can plug it into the outlet with a grounded, shielded power cord. Again, when we don't need the wireless in the house, turn the Bluetooth off. So many things we can do inside of the house.
Is it Bluetooth and Wi-Fi? Is it both?
Yes. Okay. Again, even if it's not in use, if it's on, it will continue to send signals, right? Okay. For your Wi-Fi router, for example, there's something called a Faraday bag. It's a bag you can purchase and put the router in there, so it's still functional, but the radiation is stopped from emitting. So again, this is just like 2 or 3 things. Don't buy smart appliances. Try to limit your Bluetooth and anything wireless inside the house. Number 2. Protecting yourself from outside radiation, which is your neighbor's Wi-Fi, because we usually can pick up on that, but it's password protected, so we can't sneak in, right? But you got your power lines, whether they're above ground or underground. You got your smart meters that the city puts on your house. So there's many things we can do to protect us from that. Number 3 is shield yourself from it. And that's when we get to certain gadgets that may or may not work. Now, if you have an EMF meter, like I do, you don't have to worry about, propaganda or marketing. You just have it with you. You measure it and see if it kind of gets rid of the radiation or not, right? So I've been sleeping on what we call an anti-aging bed cover, put over my bed. So 7-8 hours of my life I spent on this silver nano threaded technology bed cover that is grounded. And when it's grounded, it closes the loop. And so the electromagnetic radiation goes into Mother Earth and doesn't sit in me. So I'm actually shielded 7-8 hours from any electromagnetic radiation. Meanwhile, I get fed negative ions, which neutralize free radicals. All right. So I sleep on that. Now, that same fabric can be used to put in your office chair, put in your couch, put in the bed of your pets, because they're exposed to the same diseases. Some people go a step further. I don't, but you can line your curtains with it. You can, make clothing with it and those types of things. So there are things that you can do. The other thing you can do is what you mentioned, your phone. There's many, many things in my book that you can do, but yes, your phone is the inverse law of Newton. The further it's away from you, the less radiation, right? So try to always use it on speaker. If you don't use it, put it on airplane mode. If you are moving, like driving or walking, you shouldn't be talking on your phone, or you should stop. And it has to do with the fact if you move, then there has to be a reconnection every fraction of a second with the tower. So it's exponentially more radiation. If you have low bars or low reception, like 1 bar versus 4 bars, it's going to be exponentially more radiation, because if you have low connection, it's going to send a much stronger signal to you.
Oh, wow.
Most of us are keeping the phone next to our beds. Charging, don't charge it somewhere else. And if you charge it, don't charge it Bluetooth, plug it in. Many, many, many tips that we can incorporate, not to get rid of it, because we love the convenience of the technology, but we need to start getting more and more aware of the harmful effects at the same time and mitigate those. And so that's the phone, that's your computer. We can do many things to neutralize it. And then step number 4, again, we can't mitigate all of it, so there will be some DNA damage. And so step number 4 is, what can we do to repair our DNA? And that's a whole chapter in the book, because most people don't know that we have an innate DNA repair system. Our body is meant to repair any damaged DNA. The system is called the ARTD1 system. It consists of 17 enzymes that basically are, signaling molecules. And when there's and sensors. So when there's DNA damage, they go to the site. They basically, start granulating and building a new matrix of the DNA and repairing it. That's what this system does. The problem is that in 90% of us, the system doesn't work. The reason it doesn't work is because it requires fuel, and the fuel for our DNA repair system is NAD+, right? Most of your listeners may have heard of NAD+. And so we need to now make sure that we have ample amount of NAD+ in the body. How do we do that? We can take a supplement. We can do regular IVs. We also can make sure we have the precursors in our body, which are tryptophan, but mostly niacin. We need to make sure we have a low EMR lifestyle, and we need to make sure we don't eat too close to going to bed because it also depletes NAD+. So again, many strategies and tips that we can implement to make sure we have enough NAD+. If we have enough NAD+, our body itself will repair the DNA. So those are the 4 steps that we can implement to mitigate the damaging effects of electromagnetic radiation.